Hey, I'm Trey Rentz, and this is my friend
Joseph Coatney.
and we are Rennie and Doc.
It's true.
It's so weird. Is that the show title? It is the show title.
It is.
I checked it before we started recording to make sure it was the same.
It was sanctioned by the
by the
United
podcast
Nations
board.
Yeah.
The board of podcasts. So welcome to another episode. Episode 4, I believe.
Ah.
Could you believe that we're still going strong?
No.
And like I said last time, the crowds love us, especially the ladies and the men. This episode I'm actually really excited about, and it has the potential of being very divisive.
Yes.
And the potential to be very conspiratorial-ish, maybe?
Could be.
I mean, the whole story around this subject is very... I mean, you can't prove it. There's bits.
I mean, I don't think either one of us subscribe to any idea about said subject.
So the great idea... We don't necessarily believe anything that we're going to talk about today. We might, but we're not going to tell you that. So
it's just fun food for thought.
Very fun food for thought. And this is one of those things that we talk about in our non-public lives, in the private sector.
Yeah.
Of our homes and our places that we go, which is our homes and work. But so the topic today is aliens. But before we get into the depths of that thing, which is going to be deep, I thought we could go, Joe and I send each other, just like everybody else, Instagram videos and stuff like that.
Yes.
I really like, I think you do too, the ones where it's a guy or a girl that really sucks at their job. I can't remember do you remember the account that has so many of those good things? It's like pictures of like a toilet at a narrow as narrow as the toilet, just wide enough to get in there to drop a deuce.
Yes.
And things like that.
I remember the
bad screw ups.
You sent me one that I'll never forget, and there was a bathroom. For whatever reason, there was two toilets facing each other.
It's a dual crap. Yeah. And they could do the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers thing and say, "You son of a bitch."
That's a throwback to
it. That's it. Yeah. So I wanted to show you this. Well, first of all, let's get mine out of the way. We'll do like two. Oh, there's a few, but this thing scares me, and it's not anything. It looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So if I saw that, I would shark myself. Do you know what that is? You're an animal guy.
I forget the name, but a fun fact.
They run on water?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Fun fact, they don't know that any dinosaurs had that frill. They got the idea for Jurassic Park from that lizard.
The spitter one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every iteration of him since has that frill, even though there's no any evidence that they had one.
I don't know what the hell that would even be for.
It's just
so you don't drop food on your pants.
I think it serves the same purpose for a cat puffing its fur up and turning sideways. It just makes you look bigger and scarier.
Oh,
so
no, that makes sense.
Trying to get you, then you
Damn
go,
it,
"Hey,
Joe, I knew you were on the show
pretty
for a
big.
reason."
I'm pretty big. Don't try to fight me.
Yeah. So this is something you sent. I have not looked at it.
I don't even remember what it is.
Well,
we'll see.
We're gonna find out together as Rennie and. Okay, we're done. All right, let's see.
Asa has a project that is using AI to translate animal communication called the Earth Species Project.
I was just reading something about whales yesterday. Mm-hmm. Is that regarding that?
Yeah, we work across a number of different species: dolphins, whales, orangutans.
I might have seen this.
That's exactly right. And what most people don't realize is the amount that we actually already know. So dolphins, for instance, have names that they call each other by.
Wow.
Parrots, turns out, also have names that they're like the mother will like whisper in each different child's ear and like teach them their name to go back and forth until the child gets it.
Oh.
One of my favorite examples is actually off the coast of Norway every year. There's a group of false killer whales that speak one way and a group of dolphins that speak another way. And they come together in a superpod and hunt, and when they do, they speak a third different thing.
Whoa.
But this is how I feel about that. It's fascinating. Maybe I'm just weird.
You are.
I don't like part of me doesn't like. I don't want to know. Like if my cats have a language.
Now hold on, that goes against everything you've ever said.
I know,
you want all the information you've said.
I want to understand it. Like I like the fact that he said that they know that these two species speak their own language, and then when they come together, they speak a third language. That's fascinating.
It is.
Do I want to know exactly what they're saying? It might kind of take the magic away from. I don't know.
I don't think it's possible to ever really know.
Yeah,
I
because
think that they could come to a point where we think we know.
that's true.
But you couldn't prove it.
I watched a video the other day that was I don't know any other languages. Let's just put that out there.
I believe you.
But
are you lying?
it was, I think it was Spanish, but they were speaking English, but they had put the words in the way that Spanish people speak.
Yeah.
And
It's backwards,
it
right?
just was really
Jarble.
confusing to me. So if just that is confusing to me, then an animal.
You could probably figure it out. I mean, with enough study. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a human language. I remember a little bit of Spanish from. I took it for like 10 years over a span of.
I took none.
10 years.
I worked with a woman who spoke Spanish, and I asked her how to say swear words, and that's the extent of my knowledge.
Well, that will get you around Tijuana. So
Okay.
to get into this, I wanted to show you this. This was so to get into this thing that we're going to talk about, which is aliens and what we think about those things. I wanted to show you this. When I saw this, I thought, who am I to ever think that I could say something is impossible?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to go, that could never happen. That's the dumbest thing. And yet, this exists.
So,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have quantum locking. The superconductor is locked in space, and it stays wherever I put it. You see, this is quantum
What is
trapping.
gravity?
It's amazing. As long as it's
They used to
cold,
think they were.
It doesn't move. Look at it. It is stationary
upside
They
down,
were-
in the air.
stays locked.
I don't
Why?
know, they were trying to use that to make
actually floating
bullet
above the
trains
surface.
Yeah, it's just
Interesting.
floating. It's locked.
I would
because
never
there's
wanna
no
ride that.
friction. No friction.
I
But
never wanna
the
ride
problem
that.
is you have to hyper like
this, and it will
cool
just
that.
go around
So
like this,
I don't know how you could theoretically do that.
But
go and put it at different
how can you
height,
see this and go,
and do it like this.
no, I understand all of the
Lock it at the
universe.
height.
No.
Screw you. You don't know anything.
Because why doesn't it slide off? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just the momentum.
Right.
It
It
doesn't. make any
defies
sense.
logic. But as you know it.
Yeah.
That's why
Doing this
people that go, well, that's not possible. You're just an imbecile.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's possible.
We are infants in this universe.
That's the kind of thing. So that's a perfect predicate, precursor.
Yeah.
I'm a word man. So the alien thing. There's been a lot of this stuff. I re-listened to, whether you believe him or not, I re-listened to the Rogan episode with Bob Lazar. Mm-hmm. Bob Lazar said he worked at S4, some secret
Los Alamos.
yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's like what's the big one? The
Area 51.
Area 51. It's like that, or
Yeah.
maybe a subsect,
Yeah.
or subsection of that. So he claims that he worked trying to figure out with a craft.
Mm-hmm.
He was assigned with another guy, trying to figure out the way the propulsion worked, and he described it as using gravity.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about this before, and everybody goes, oh, yeah, gravity. And I
Yeah.
used to think, oh, yeah, gravity. Nobody knows what the hell gravity is.
No.
Nobody knows how gravity works. Nobody.
Nope.
It's all a theory, and it's all a hypothesis. Nobody knows. I couldn't tell you. They go, oh, you know how the Earth, how it spins? No, that centrifugal motion would throw you off. It would have to be like a bucket. When
Yeah.
you swing it, you might have to be on the inside of that.
Yeah.
That doesn't explain gravity to me.
No, it
Sorry,
doesn't.
it just doesn't. But
Because they
he-
say mass, but and I'm sure there's somebody out there that says they have the answer, like there's some math equation, but
Right.
it doesn't really make sense.
And if you're super cooled, gravity doesn't affect you. You're locked. So,
Yeah.
somehow, I don't know. But so he says, he still to this day, he says relied on gravity as a propulsion. So it harnessed gravity, and that tells me that if he's not lying, which I don't really have a stance on it. I kind of believe him.
I kind of do too. He just seems so. Well, okay. First of all, he seems so. He's not like trying to be a celebrity or get money.
No.
It doesn't seem like he's like.
He seems like an introvert.
Like you have to pull it out.
It kind of reminds me of you.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really want to talk about it, but
wanna...
this is what I know.
Yeah.
And then once he had talked in the 90s, I think, about this element, and everybody thought, oh, that's
115?
bullshit. Yeah, and then it comes out that, oh yeah, this is an element, and it's a man-made element.
It is. I'm trying to think. I did pull up a few things that.
It is interesting.
He's describing the reactor right here. We might as well watch it. It's just very fascinating to me because if it is gravity that's being harnessed, it makes. Well, first of all, we don't understand it. That means that it's not from this world. Now we can get into what that means. Whether it's. Well, I don't know. Well, that's why.
So it's the reactor here powering the gravity amplifiers. Gravity amplifiers output goes into the gravity emitters at the bottom, and the resulting gravity beam or anti-gravity wave can be pretty much put anywhere you want to. And I had access and was permitted to view and look at the operation of this main level with the gravity amplifiers and the level below the gravity emitters. And people call these large black rectangular areas on the top portholes. I believe they were some planar sensor array that just took in information from the surrounding area, whether it be patterns of stars or what have you.
All right.
It is interesting because if you could manipulate gravity, you could do anything.
You could, and gravity affects everything. I was texting you the other day. Gravity affects time.
Yeah.
Gravity affects space. Gravity affects how you perceive time.
Yeah.
So, one thing I connected here, I connect things. That's what I do. I'm a conspiracy. I'm like the guy that pointing with all the lines on the wall. that's me. That David Fraver guy, the pilot. Do you remember him?
I'm bad with names, so
he's the one that saw the. I can't remember what it's called. There's a name for it. This guy.
Oh yeah, I've seen the video.
The Tic Tac.
Yeah.
So he described, and we could watch this or we don't have to, but he described that he saw this. They were able to lock onto it. But he said that, I don't think it says it in this video, but if I can remember correctly, the thing moved so fast and it ended up in the place where their rallying point was. So it knew where they were going to go.
Oh.
Right?
The planes that were following it.
Right.
Okay.
So that makes me go, okay, if I put Bob Lazar's gravity thing and I take this thing to and put them together, I marry them, we have a ceremony, and then we have a reception, we
Holy
have
matrimony,
cake. Yes. Finger foods, nothing big. And put the two things together. If gravity can affect things and dilate time, could it be that something that is using gravity could see possibly what is going to happen, at least in the short term?
Okay.
A minute, 2 minutes, because of the time dilation.
Because they're basically be kind of out of it.
Right.
Like perceive.
So
I never thought about that.
It would know that they will be there.
Yeah.
And it's maybe just a short period. And that was something very interesting to me. Now, you can't prove that.
No.
I didn't
know that, the extent of that. I just know I saw the footage and heard the pilot describing it. I didn't know about the going to where they were going.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Like, I don't think we need to play this, but no, I thought if it's the same thing, I think they're seeing something.
Yeah. Well, that's something else too. Like, you could see 1,000. Let's just for argument's sake say that every UFO sighting is real. They may not even be the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, they may not be. Like, if some are aliens and some are men, we don't. They may not even be the same thing.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of theories. One is the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that comes with a lot of theories in itself. Bob Lazar also said that they found this craft, and they had more than one, but this is the only one he worked on.
Yeah.
They found that in the ground.
Yeah.
And an archaeological dig.
Yeah.
That was very interesting to me.
It is.
So that would mean it's old.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we could deep dive on that.
there's a. I'm sure we could talk. It's already been this long.
Yeah.
we're gonna. I think we're gonna have more than one episode in this, but there's just so much information. Okay, so you remember the jellyfish thing?
Yep.
That was interesting.
It is. It's very bizarre.
And
the first time I saw it, I had just woke up in the morning, and it was in my feed, and I went, "The hell am I looking at here?" And then It wasn't
I still don't know what
you
it is.
sent it to me, and I watched it again. That I went, "This might be something." It doesn't look mechanical.
No. Well,
It looks like the probe droid from Empire Strikes Back. So
it could be a drone with stuff all over it, I guess.
Saran wrap.
Now, I saw somebody trying to say, "Oh, it's just something on the lens," but with the camera's moving at a different speed, though. So I
Yeah,
don't
and it's
think
going
that's
up and
true.
down.
Now, I've had boogers and not actual boogers. That's gross. But like particles on my camera lens that I couldn't get off, and I know what that. I'm a scientist in that way.
Yeah.
I know how that works. So this is not what that is, but it's changing
It
colors,
changes
and I think it's
it
thermal,
almost
cold and
look-
hot.
It almost looks. Oh, this is thermal.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. But I don't know.
It almost looks translucent to me,
does.
like a predator.
Oh, maybe it is Predator. Maybe it is an alien.
But it's weird. If it's thermal, though, that means when it gets dark, it's getting hotter, right?
I think that's true. But so I know that aliens has never been a big thing for me. And it hasn't been a big thing until they started 2 years ago or something like that. Started releasing this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned into something that I was interested. But you've always
It's funny because
really liked this stuff.
Yeah, before the internet, I used to buy the books. I would go to bookstores and buy books of encounters and photos. And,
Yeah.
And then when they started releasing stuff and the internet got bombarded, then I lost interest in it.
Because you weren't the out crowd or the
Well,
out
I
group
think
anymore.
it was just that there was so much, and a lot
much
of
to
it
wade through.
looked so fake on the first viewing. Even.
Oh, yeah, some of it does
and,
look fake.
And so
it still could
was
be
just,
fake.
It was just too. It could. There was just too much stuff that looked fake that I just lost interest for
Right.
a while. Now I'm kind of coming back to it, but now it's getting where it's so easy to fake anything.
That's true. Everything, like technology is fantastic. I mean, we can do this show because of the technology, and we're not throwing money into it.
What's that actor's name that was in Predator 2?
Danny Glover.
No, the guy that
Bill
ran
Paxton.
the crew that wanted to.
Oh, Gary Busey.
Yeah, there was a viral video
wealth
of him
of
talking
knowledge.
about buttered sausage. I didn't know that was fake. I thought that was real.
What?
There was a viral video of him talking about buttered sausage.
Oh, yeah, it was fake. It was green
fake.
screen.
I didn't know that for the longest time. I thought that was just him being a lunatic like he is.
Yeah, so it's all the AI stuff.
This is fake.
We're not here. No, the AI stuff is freaky.
It is.
But I guess the crux of the situation, everybody is, well, not everybody, but everybody will see this. What do you think this is? That was what I really wanted to get to. And I think we have enough time to dig into a little bit of it. I don't believe it's an alien. I don't really believe it.
Yeah, I've never fully subscribed to aliens. I find it interesting to think about, and I want to know if.
Well, you want to believe, like you've said. Yeah.
And there's so many people that have seen so many things that I think there's something.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't have a concrete belief in what it is.
Yeah. I have two minds about it. One very logical, and this is my everyday life.
Yeah.
One side of my brain is strictly Dr. Spock.
Yeah.
Logical man.
Same.
The other side is a dreamer.
Yeah.
This is the side that wanted to make the show.
Yeah.
And then the other guy goes,
Why?
you don't want to do that. He won out. But my logical side says the most logical thing this is something that we have created, our military, in secret. Now we're testing it on our best technology, our best pilots, because if we tested it on anywhere else, that would be a war crime, probably. So we want to test it, see if it works.
And plus, we're kind of top tier anyway. So if we can fool our guys,
then
that's
we
a really
something.
good hypothesis.
And it typically happens around bases. This was on
yeah.
Well, this is U.S. and Iraq. Oh yeah, so it's I don't know why. Well, yeah, our base in Iraq. So it typically happens around our bases and stuff like that. So I think, okay,
yeah,
that makes a logical sense.
That is true.
My other side thinks that it very well could be, and I've said this before, and this is going to be controversial. I'm a Bible believer.
Mm-hmm.
Always have been. Probably always will be. No, I will be.
You will be.
I will be.
Definitely.
But I could easily see, and this, this is where we're going to get in the hole here. Let's jump in the hole. I think that it could very well be maybe I'm just gonna say it, an alien, an angel, or a demon.
Yeah.
And if I'm going into the biblical realm here, and I go, okay, if I wanted to trick the world, I wanted to fool the world. That's what the devil or Lucifer
the
or
great
whatever,
deceiver,
Satan, this deceiver, yeah. If I wanted to deceive the world, lead them away from God or the Bible and stuff like that, I would do this because it sows doubt.
Yeah.
It's not so overt.
Yeah.
That, you go, well, that seems weird. But this is like threading the needle a little bit.
That's true, because I remember when I was younger thinking, Revelation tells you exactly what's going to happen, right? And this great beast appears and says, oh, I'm going to unite the world. And I, even as a kid, was like, how are you going to pull that off?
Right.
But if you were
just like
we're
Watchmen,
from the United Nations of planets.
or on Watchmen, a common enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be that. Unite the world. And I think that would work. But the question is, we talked about this. We don't have very much time, but we can go. We talked about the idea of, I've told you this idea before, and it's a little out there.
Yeah.
And it's hard to wrap your head around, but we think of angels and demons being fallen angels, so they're technically angels, I guess.
Yeah.
Lucifer himself was an angel still, I guess. I guess you don't classify him that anymore, but we have discussed the idea that we think of these beings as ethereal, or spirit. They're not. You can't touch them. They're not.
Yeah.
They're in a spirit realm.
Force Ghost Obi-Wan.
Yeah, like a ghost. Yeah, or something that you can't. That's not a physical thing.
Yeah.
And after the show last time, when we were thinking about talking about this, I submitted the idea that maybe they are physical beings.
Yeah.
But they have the ability to leave this dimension, realm, plane of existence, and enter into maybe the fourth dimension is what they talk about.
Yeah.
Something that we cannot perceive that does exist, I believe exists, doesn't have to be a spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And they can go back and forth between these 2 points.
It makes sense. I'm sure I've watched videos of people trying to explain what a fourth dimension would be like,
right.
And it's just
I don't think you
tries
can
to crack
understand.
your brain open. Yeah. And
that brings me to the idea of, we talk a lot.
Yeah.
Good God,
we do.
This brings me to a thing that I'll never try. I'm just going to go out and say it. DMT.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a Joe Rogan episode. He talks about it a lot, but it's interesting to me because your brain does make it.
Yeah.
And I think it's what makes your dreams.
Doesn't that get released too when you're dying? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's made in the pineal gland, which we can go into a whole thing about the Eye of Horus and the shape about that. So I have always, not always, I came to the conclusion that I think that you could either go 2 ways. One way is it is a hallucinogen, making you see your brain act up and see all this crazy stuff. I talk English. I talk English. All right. So, or what I actually think is that it opens your perception of that other realm.
Well, you know what's interesting about that is that the videos I've seen of people trying to describe the fourth dimension, they start at one dimensional and then they build up to try to show you what the different dimensions are like. Like if you're in the first dimension, like one dimension, you can only move on a plane like this, and so anything outside of that plane you can't perceive.
Right.
You get into third dimension, like here.
Yeah.
You can see everything around you, but you can't see the fourth dimension. But every dimension above the next can perceive the one below it.
But you can't perceive the one above it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
that
sense. Would work with your theory too, because
I'm sure it's not the only one.
I know, but I mean, it works because that would mean that angels, demons could perceive everything that's happening in our dimension without being in it. And then if they wanted to, they could go into it.
Right. I don't think that's far-fetched.
I don't either.
People might not like that. It's not as sexy as aliens.
No.
And I as a matter of fact, I think that this is great for atheists because they go, "Oh, I don't have to believe that stupid stuff."
Yeah.
And they're like the petulant child that rebels against their parents. Like they have that.
I feel attacked personally. How dare you?
So they have like oppositional defiance, like because they have I think that they have this something in the back of their head that goes, "Oh crap, this won't be real. I'm not going to follow rules. Damn it!" So that they rebel. I can't be. It's the dumbest thing in the world. That's like I always criticize Rogan for that because he goes anything other than God, anything like any other being, anything is possible except the God thing.
I may have said this on the last episode, but Jordan Peterson had a nice quote about that. He said that this is to simplify it. He said people don't like to take responsibility for their problems because the second they do, now it's their problem to fix.
Right.
And so it's like that. Like if you go, there's a God, and now every action that you have.
I think what he said, I think I saw that same thing. If you could prove God and you knew it for beyond the shadow of a doubt, if I could prove it, like there it is, now that's an authoritarian state. Like you go, oh crap, there are the rules. Oh, there are rules. Now I got to do it. But free will exists because you have to choose to believe. Like there would be no worth in it if, well, there's God, got to follow him. Yeah. Like there would be no push. You know what I mean? No draw. It would just be what it is and follow the rules. It's like the police state. I think that makes a lot of sense.
It's true. I think about some of my coworkers that sometimes my boss has to go to the stores, so he's out for the day. He'll come in for a couple hours and he'll say, like, "Hey, I'm going to be gone the rest of the day," yada yada. Yeah. And there's certain coworkers that really like that because then they don't have to work as hard.
That's true.
And I think you should
because you can't prove your boss exists.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like just that alone.
Right.
Like, oh, good, he's gone. So now I can just slack off.
Well, what is when the cat's away, the mouse play?
Yeah.
Say, I'm a phrase man. I'm a phrase guy. I think that's enough.
We can talk about this.
We could always, we can only go so long. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I would love to dig deeper into this.
We will.
And we can and we will. And so I hope you were entertained by this. If you like this, leave a comment. Tell us what you'd like us to talk about because we talk. This is our job. That makes no money. So leave a comment, like, subscribe, all the stuff that people tell you to do. And we will see you on the next episode of Rennie and Doc.